cloudy but beautiful look from our A camera out in Ridgefield. Welcome back, everybody, to Afternoon Live. So, do you and your partner have a mismatched desire for sex? You know what? You're not alone. Here with 3 tips that you can follow with your partner to create a loving and pleasurable sexual relationship that works for both of you. We welcome back couples and sex therapist Maegan Megginson. Maegan, you know, I could say you always bring the heat when you come on the show. I think most people will.
Yes.
Most people want to experience heat, but what happens when your partner kind of wants to have that heat going a little bit more than you?
Yes. Well, first of all, the most common presenting problem in the sex therapy office is what we call desire discrepancy. Right? So
there's a name for this.
There's a name for it. There's a term and everything. That's how common it is. Right? So desire discrepancy is when one partner has a higher desire for sex and the other partner has a lower desire for sex. So you can see right away how this might create quite a bit of conflict in the relationship.
Absolutely. Does that equate, though, that, you know, you're just not attracted to your partner, or are there just true levels of desire and need just to have sex itself?
There are so many different variables that contribute to the way in which we experience desire for sex, right? The way I feel when I'm 25 versus 45 with 3 kids, very different.
You're speaking to me. You're speaking to me.
Maybe a little bit.
Telling all my business, Maegan. No, but it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, things change.
Things change, and we don't always change at the same pace.
Right.
Right. So the way that I'm changing, I might be more stressed at any given time than you are, and right. So over time, this can become a huge problem in a relationship because we really start butting heads.
Right.
And the more conflict we experience, the harder it is going to be
Exactly.
have sex, right?
It's a vicious cycle.
It really is a vicious cycle.
So how do we break it?
Well, the first step is that it's very important for us to approach this problem with empathy and compassion, right? And I say that because it is so easy for this to turn into huge conflict in any relationship,
because
right?
people take it personal.
They take it personally, and we start blaming each other, right? So if, say, you know, if your partner wants sex more than you do, you can start saying like, "Ugh, you're just sex crazed, you're selfish, what's the matter with you?
You're using me.
You're using me," right? It's like it becomes very pathologizing all of a sudden. It's even worse sometimes in the other direction. So the way that we talk about partners with lower desire, that you're broken, there's something wrong with you. You know, why can't you want sex the way that you used to want sex? So we really start approaching each other from these adversarial positions.
Right.
That makes intimacy not really an option that's on the table.
Well, yeah, not at that point.
Right, not at that point. So we really want to approach each other with compassion, right? What does sex mean to you? Tell me why you do or don't want it right now. I really just want to feel like I care about you, and I actually have some empathy for why you do want sex and you're not getting it, or why you don't want sex and you feel like I'm pressuring you for it. Empathy and compassion is the foundation upon which we can solve all of our problems.
Man, you said that like that was like a Sermon on the Mountain.
Ooh, well, I'm telling you.
I feel like I wanted to say amen.
Yeah, you can. Please do, right? The whole world would be a different place if we had more empathy and compassion for each other's experiences.
That's true, for anything.
Exactly.
But back to the bedroom.
Back to the bedroom.
Okay, so now we have a true conversation.
That's right.
That has empathy involved.
Right, and we're not pathologizing, we're not criticizing, we really are being kind to each other.
Okay.
So the next step is to approach this problem with curiosity instead of frustration, shame, or avoidance. Right, so those tend to be the 3 ways that we cope with this kind of problem in our relationship. We avoid it altogether, and we stop talking about sex. We have conflict and we fight all the time, or we make each other feel really bad about ourselves. So if we can replace all of those things with genuine curiosity, now we can start to explore the answer to that question you were asking earlier, right? What caused this problem in the first place?
Right.
Right?
Huh.
Yeah.
So how do you, I guess when I'm thinking about it, you're curious, right? You guys are giggling. Stop giggling. This is serious business. So you have this conversation and you have empathy, but how do you explore it without coming off like, I still just want what I want?
Right, right. So that's the compassion first and foremost, right? If I know that you're struggling and if I have genuine compassion for you, sitting down and having a conversation from a place of curiosity at that point feels genuine rather than forced, right? And here's the thing about sexual desire. It is impacted by every facet of our life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
There is nothing happening in my world that doesn't impact my sexuality in some way, shape, or form. So as we are trying to understand the cause of this desire discrepancy problem that we're having, we have to turn over all of the stones.
I see.
Right? So I'm going to break that down into 4 categories.
Okay.
We want to look at the biological. What's happening in my body? What's happening physically that might impact my desire for sex? Then we want to look at psychological, mental, emotional. What's happening from a mental health perspective? Am I depressed? Am I anxious? Do I have low self-esteem? Right? What's happening in that realm of my life that might impact? The next category we're going to call social and cultural. Right? So I want to understand the impact of my culture. What did I learn about sexuality growing up that might inform the way I feel about myself as a sexual person?
Okay.
And socially, you know, the world that I exist in today, how does it inform the beliefs that I have about myself as a sexual person?
Whew, that's a lot of work.
And relational, what's actually happening between me and you, and how might that be contributing to whether or not I want to have sex with you? It's a lot. There's a lot of pieces.
Yes, that's a whole lot. That's not turning on the light in the moment and going, let's have a conversation and settle this.
That's right. And it's not saying like, can't you just do it just for me, right? Can't you just like get over the fact that you don't want it and do it anyways?
Right.
This is really appreciating the complexity of sexuality, and then appreciating that we're 2 people who are trying to put these pieces together at the same time. It's a lot of pieces, but it's very possible.
And it's worth it. It's worth it.
Of course.
So thank you so much.
You're
I know
welcome.
you have much more. You always do.
Go to the website.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. All right, we're going to have Maegan's tips for you on our website, and more information to get with Maegan at KATU.com. It's very important stuff. All right, don't go away. We have your chance to win tickets to the Home, Fall, and Garden Show. That's next.